Today marks 1737 day of daily lessons, day reflections. Today I speak about different kind of seasons in life, and I think that every season has something to bring to us. And today I specifically speak about peaceful season, and I think it's interesting thing that peaceful season seems like such a beautiful season. That only joy comes from peaceful season because you have peace within it. But today I want to speak about that peaceful season can reveal wounds that house was hiding. Such an interesting thing. Peaceful season, peaceful season could reveal the wounds that you were hiding under house. So today I will share seven thoughts, seven reflections that we're able to reflect about it, and maybe we'll see that maybe we have something to heal as well. Maybe you need something to really focus on as well. Maybe you need something that's really to face our demons. Just make sure that we're able to become better and really use that peaceful season to really heal fully from the things that maybe we didn't heal before. So number one, house can become distraction from pain you never processed. It's interesting because you might be focused on fixing problems, putting out fires, focusing on urgencies, making decisions, and really that making decisions it could be so hard because you're thinking, okay, left or right, left or right, left or right is better left or is better right, and you're putting a pluses, minuses, advantages, disadvantages, and while you're making a decision and you're putting so much energy into that, you sort of stop for and you stop really focusing on yourself to become a better person. And sometimes, if you want to become a better person, is really focusing on healing the wounds that you had in the past. But because you live in so much house, you're focusing on urgencies rather than priorities. Because priority is heal to make sure that you are great. Because when you face your demons, when you really control your wounds, you become such a whole person, and nobody is able to touch you. And that's the beautiful thing. Number two, peace removes your excuses. I really love that because sometimes people say that, oh, I just cannot deal with this right now because there's a lot of things going on. But you're in the peace season. There's no such a thing as I cannot do this right now because you already have peace. So that means that peace removes any kind of excuse to really focus on things that matter, including healing wounds, including healing the part that isn't necessary to be healed, rather than hiding under the bed, being able to really focus on that. And I know that because I was that person as well who was not thinking, not reflecting, not really focusing on things that needs to be fixed. And until I faced my demons, I always was carrying that heavy luggage. And sometimes really need to say, like, why I'm this way? Why I'm angry? Why am I afraid of rejection? Why am this, and this? We're able to really like come up with reflections that really allows us to really face the demons and really remove us. The why is not the best question, but what was the reason for that? That's a much better question. What was the reason for me to really feel this way? Number three, the pain you avoided does not disappear. It waits for safety. It's interesting that pain that if you had in the past and you didn't process it, that didn't really focus on that, it doesn't disappear. It's just waiting in the closet to be opened because at some point you will need to open all the boxes in your mind, in your heart. And if you're not open during peace season, it might be that it will be open during house season. And that will be even much, much, much harder to deal with. And I know that sometimes when you are in a massive storm and the box needs to be open, it just makes it so much harder. So that means that being able to open the boxes of wounds during peace season is much, much easier to heal. You're not in a rush. You have your time. You're able to take your time. You have peace. So you're able to be a little bit outside of peace to really to fix that. So we're going back to default peace because The season of peace is when your default mode of your emotions, of your heart, of your mind is peace. So you are allowed yourself to really get out of that peace. You don't need to have peace all the time to be in peaceful season. You're able to have a peaceful default and then experiencing a lot of different emotions during that peaceful season. And that's what healing means. Number four, a quiet life can feel uncomfortable when you're addicted to survival mode. I have experienced it as well. Like when right before the peaceful season, when I was coming out of difficult season, when I start to feel content just by going for a walk and enjoying my coffee and not doing anything, and that feeling of content and joy and bliss by not doing anything and just walking in the park was uncomfortable. But I reflected on that. I realized that that's part of unfamiliar feeling. Even though this is a good feeling, it was unfamiliar, and because it was unfamiliar, I felt uncomfortable. And it's such a weird feeling uncomfortable about feeling content. And I need to heal from that as well because that's again that's one of the most ridiculous people that things that people experience is that they experience a good thing and because it's unfamiliar it feels uncomfortable. And you need to understand that we might be that we were addicted to the feelings and emotions that was not helping us. Number five, your wounds often reveal themselves through your reactions, not your memories. And then again, I mentioned about opening the box, and sometimes when we experience life, experience different things, those boxes are opened, and when the box is opened, and when things are revealed, your reactions are triggered by those boxes. And I think that we need to realize that if you don't like your reaction, it might that the wound is actually reacting, not you who you are. Because sometimes we can really attach a reaction and start to blame our identity. And I think that sometimes we need to realize it could be part of your character, your identity, and be able to focus on it. But I think that sometimes our wounds are reacting, our wounds showing triggers that is revealed. And during peaceful season, be able to really reflect, is that who I am right now and I'm able to change it? Or is that wound reacting and I just need to heal that? And when I heal that reaction, that wound, that reaction will disappear byproduct. Because I know that sometimes we react not because this is who we are, but just the wound was touched. Because there is a wound that is still open, when you touch it, it will hurt. And of course you will react because of that. And that's why we're able to reflect on that. Number six, you cannot build a new life while secretly protecting all wounds. It's interesting because sometimes we our react and we believe that those reactions is our survival, our security, and we will try to protect them. But peace is much better protector than any other um, wound. Because if I say that I'm not enough, and when we have that, people will leave me, and people will leave me, and that is again because people believe me that I will build walls that people could not get into me, so I will not leave me. But it means it's a protective mechanism. And when you realize that you have a peace in your mind and you have a ability to really stay in solitude with that peace and enjoy that solitude, you don't want to be in that solitude for all your life. And if necessary, you're able to stay there. But at the same time, that allows you to really heal those necessary old wounds that you don't need to protect yourself. You don't. People will not leave you. And I think that when you have those old wounds, then people leave because those old wounds trigger reactions that are negative, and people don't want to be around negativity. So being able to heal and become peaceful and whole and complete, that's will protect people, and people will never leave. And that's the interesting thing. Number seven, peace is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of honesty. And I said it. peaceful season, it doesn't mean that there's a peace all the time. What it means is that the default is peace. So it means you're going for a day and emotions are coming and going. And you sometimes experience a devastation even during peaceful season. Such an interesting thing. Sometimes you experience devastation during peaceful season, but you just experienced devastation, frustration, and any negative emotion, and then within an hour, it depends on an experience, even sometimes 5 minutes, you just go back to the peace, and that's a peaceful season. And we need to really be honest with our emotions because sometimes when we in peaceful season, we want to really keep that peace no matter what. No, like if something that really happened, we're able to say that this hurt me. This changed me. This was really frustrating. You acknowledge the emotions that come and go, and then it go back to the peace. And it's beautiful thing when you realize that peace doesn't require to have no problems. Sometimes the best peace is when you have a lot of problems, but because you have that peace within, you're able to really focus on those problems with clear mind, with more clarity, with more understanding. And that's much easier to really fix the problem when you have that peace and clarity in your mind and heart. So I hope you reflect this out. That's a beautiful topic. What peaceful season could reveal? Because sometimes we're able to learn from every season, and peaceful season could even focus on the negative as well. The negative, just really making sure that we're able to return that negative in something positive. So I hope you just win and see you tomorrow.